Alright, so here we go. All you chids want to get a good lit summary of the One Piece, I got you. It starts off with this wee lad, Rubber Boy. Rubber Boy Luffy. Why is he rubber? Dumb fruit shit. He ate the fruit as a young lad, almost died in the water, because when you eat a fruit, you lose the ability to swim, kind of counterproductive when you're a bunch of pirates. But whatever. He almost died. Red-haired boy saved him, lost an arm. That's the story of how he became Rubber and how he got his hat. Rubber Boy goes on an adventure. Rubber Boy meets green-haired Mosshead named Zoro. Mosshead's like, I'm good. I need my swords. Luffy goes gets his swords. Sword Boy with moss hair is like, hey, you know what? I'll join you because you helped me. Then they go on an adventure, but they don't know where the fuck they're going because they don't have a navigator. Then they make it to a town that's being attacked by clowns. Fuck clowns. They beat up the clowns. They meet a cat burglar named Nami, and they're like, "Hey, we should be friends." And she's like, "Sure." And she's got nice ass titties. Then they go on adventure. Then they end up at some island named after an orange, and then they meet long-nosed prick. He's a liar. And he's just like, I'm a big fibber. And then they find out pirates are gonna attack. And he's like, oh no, but no one believes me. So Luffy beats everyone up. The villain has a move called Pussyfoot. Don't know why. They beat him up. And then Usopp's like, hey, I'll join. And they find a restaurant in the middle of the ocean. Weird. But then they meet Sanji, cook boy, who kicks people a lot. And Luffy's like, hey, I want you in my crew. Sanji's like, nah, fam, I don't want to do that. Then Luffy helps defend the restaurant. And then Sanji's like, you know what, fam, I will go with you. Then they end up at some town called Logue Town or whatever the fuck. And then they meet Smoker, who has a really bad smoking addiction. So much he's made out of smoke. He beats Luffy up pretty hard. And then the clown comes back. And the clown tries to kill Luffy. But a mysterious stranger saves Luffy. No one knows who that is, besides if you've seen the rest of the series. Whatever. Then they get rescued. And then they go on to the Grand Line by going up a waterfall in a mountain. And then getting eaten by a whale. They escape said whale. And they meet this group called Baroque Works. They get them all drunk. Besides Zoro, because Zoro knows who they are, and he beats them all up, and then Luffy's like upset. He's like, why'd you beat them up? They gave us food. And Zoro's like, are you fucking retarded? And they fight each other. Yada bada bing, bada boom. They meet a princess. They escort the princess back to her country. Country's being terrorized by a Sandman named Crocodile. Looks nothing like a crocodile, by the way. Also, the only character in a pirate anime that actually have a pirate hook. They go. Luffy dies to him almost twice. He dies to him almost twice, yada yada. He spits water at him, and then they beat him up. Luffy gets saved by some girl that grows arms. And then she's like, I must sneak on the boat and join him. Like, sure. Then they learn there's an island in the sky. They go to said island in the sky. They go up there, and they're like, oh, we get to meet God. God is a prick who's made out of electricity. He loses because Luffy's made out of rubber. And the God doesn't know what rubber is. They beat him. They go back down. They find out Robin is a very wanted person. And oh no, the government comes and takes her away. And they meet a robot cyborg boy that doesn't like to wear pants. And then they go, and he also gets arrested with Robin. And Luffy's like, you know what, I'm going to go beat up the government to save Robin. And he does so. And then they also recruit Robot Boy, who builds their new ship. And then they go and sail again. And they end up at a haunted island. Yeah, it's permanent spooky fog. And the villain looks like a fucking pear. But they beat him up, and he steals shadows. He takes Luffy's, puts it in a giant. The giant's like, oh, I want to stretch. But he realizes he can't. And they beat up the giant, and then Luffy one-shots the pear. I forgot. They also get a skeleton named Brook, who likes to ask every woman he meets if he can look at her panties. But they move on. Then they go to Sabodi Akabali, the tree island full of bubbles. And then that's when they learn, shit, we should have grinded because we're hella underleveled. And they get fucking wrecked. They get bop, 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 and they're all gone to different islands. Woo! And then Luffy's like, oh no, my brother's gonna die. Forgot to mention his brother. He was at the desert place. He was there for like 4 episodes. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Luffy decides, I'm gonna break into a prison that's supposed to be it's supposed to be impossible to break out of. He does so. Almost dies to Poison Man, who likes to eat poison and get massive diarrhea. And then Luffy gets saved by another character that was from the second arc, the stupid desert, who's a really weird faggot. Luffy then finds out his brother is already taken to the execution block. He meets a giant fish man named Jinbei. Jinbei is pretty lit. They break out of the said prison. Luffy is still didn't grind and is still underleveled as shit. Then they go to the war. The war is happening between the Whitebeard pirates, who are said to be the strongest pirates in the world, and the Navy. Fuck the Navy! And then they go to the war, and it's like, oh my god! Whoa! Everyone's fucking dying! Who would have guessed? And then a ship falls out of the sky, which is Luffy's ship and all the people he broke out of prison with. How'd they get to the sky? Watch the damn show to find out. They land. Luffy is still underleveled because he still has not grinded, and he almost dies yet again, like 3 times. Also, a little bit earlier, when we talked about all the people getting bop to all different islands, Luffy got sent to an island of all women, where he almost died because he was a man. The queen of that place fell in love with him. That's how he got into prison. And then she's also a warlord. Same with Shark Boy. Too bad there's no Lava Girl. There's a Lava Guy, and he leaves the Navy. She really wants to help Luffy, so her and Jinbei revolt as warlords against the Navy to help Luffy, because Luffy has a magical power of friendship. They go into the war. Luffy tries his hardest. He saves his brother Ace, and they're running away. But Akainu, the main villain of the Navy, he sits there and he starts talking some mad shit about Ace's daddy, and you don't talk shit about man's dad and not expect that man to come back and kick your ass. Problem is the Ace turns around and does not kick his ass. He dies protecting Luffy. And then Luffy is in shock of his brother dying. Oh no! And Shark Boy is like, I must save Luffy. So he takes Luffy and starts running. And some man from Sabaody Archipelago, which is part of the worst generation, I'm now realizing I skipped a lot of the plot, whatever. But he's part of these worst generation, which are the youngest pirates. Not youngest, I'm retarded. The newest pirates that are all rising up with bounties. And Luffy and Zoro are 2 of them. But they meet Trafalgar Law. Best character, not biased. He is also a master doctor. I also forgot to talk about them recruiting Chopper. That happened a long time ago before the desert. He's a cool talking reindeer who's also a doctor. I'm sorry. And Chopper looks up to this man named Trafalgar Law. He shows that doctors can be strong. He saves Luffy and starts surgically stabbing him and making him all healthy again. And then Luffy gets sad that his brother died, and then Shark Boy beats him up. He's like, why are you sad? And it's like, I don't want to live anymore. My brother died. And Shark Boy's like, what about the other people you need to live for? He's like, my friends. And then we cut to everyone else's training. Zoro got smacked to a fucking Dracula castle, and then he has to fight baboons. Then Nami got sent to an island in the sky, where she somehow learns to control the weather. Usopp gets sent to a food island and gets really fat and then realizes I should lose all this weight. And then he does, from the help of a beetle man. Chopper gets sent to a land of tribal men and birds. And Chopper makes the birds and the tribal men friends. And then he gets a book of ultimate medicine. Robin meets Luffy's dad. That's it. Frankie gets sent to a island they go to later in the series, I think. No, they go to a scientist place, and he blows it up and becomes more of a robot because he's a weirdo. Brook becomes a rock star. That's it. Then Luffy trains, and he gets these magical powers called Huki. Oh yeah, and Sanji goes to a queer island. I didn't really want to bring it up because it's weird, and it's actually called Queer Kingdom, but whatever. Then Luffy goes back to where the war was, and he leaves a note that says, we're not going to meet in 3 days, we're going to meet in 2 years. Everyone's like, what the fuck, man? We were planning to leave the island already. Like, bruh. Come on, dog. And they're like, you're so selfish, dude. The fuck. And then 2 years later, they all meet back at Bubble Island. And they're all fucking strong. At least they think they are. And they beat up all the things that beat them up earlier. And they're like, oh, let's run away from the government. And they run into Light Boy again, I think. No, they run into Light Boy the first time, whatever. Run into crazy people, whatever. They sail away, and they go underwater. to a land of fish people. Fuck fish people. This arc is but the villain takes steroids and still loses. Luffy saves the fish land and makes enemies with a big fat bitch that really likes sweets, who ends up being one of the 4 emperors, like Whitebeard, and the red-haired boy, Shanks, who saved Luffy when he was a kid. Then they move on, they're like, hey, let's sail up. And they end up at great land known as Punk Hazard, an island so fucked from a war between the now leader of the Navy, Lava Boy, and the guy who was supposed to be leader, Ice Boy. They fought for 3 days straight and changed the island half lava and half ice. How does that work? I don't fucking know. But they show up in its narrow laboratory ran by a guy named Caesar the Clown, who's made out of gas. He probably fucking stinks. But they beat him up. Luffy, they save a bunch of kids who he's giving candy that makes them grow bigger, and it's really weird. But they beat him up. They win. Whoop-de-doo. Trafalgar Law makes an alliance with them. Yay! And then they're like, well, you need to go take out Doflamingo, Pink Man. And they go, and they go to a country where he's king. And Luffy's like, hey, they're giving away my brother's fruit in the tournament. I want to win. And everyone's like, you're gonna get away or cover, dude. What the fuck? And then he goes in, he's beating everybody up. And then he meets his other brother, who he thought was dead from a really long time ago, named Sabo, who fights with a pipe for some reason, but whatever. And he's like, hey, you should give me hey, Luffy, bruh, should give me your disguise so I can enter the tournament and win the fruit. And then I could take it. And Luffy's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And then he gives him his shit, and they leave. And then they start fucking duking it out with Doflamingo's crew. It becomes a war. Shit, everyone starts dying. Luffy starts introducing more of his powers, which I forgot to bring up in Annie's Lobby. I'm doing really terrible at this. Back in Annie's Lobby, when he was really weak and he had to beat up Leopard Man, he thought of second gear and third gear. Second gear makes him Red Steamy Boy, and third gear makes him Balloon Boy. Fourth gear makes him all of those things together, plus Hockey, which is really weird superpowers that I don't really know how to explain. There's Armament, which makes your body black and really hard. There's Observation Hockey, which makes you see things real good. And then there's Conqueror's Hockey, which rare people have, which is like, I'm gonna fucking flex my eyes at you, dog, and then you're gonna faint. Luffy finds out he has those at the war. Then, when he's fighting Doflamingo, he's like, oh shit, man, I need a new form. Fourth gear, where he becomes a bouncing boy, and he mixes all 3 of those things together. He gets Steamy Red Boy, Big Balloon Boy, and the Hockey. He's like, watch and he fights, and it's like really cool and all, but then he deflates after a while, and he's useless for 10 minutes. But he ends up running away for like a good 10 minutes. A lot of people die to save him. It's really depressing. And then Luffy comes back, and he beats up Doflamingo, and people are like, oh my god, he beat up Doflamingo! And they're like, we must now go to this other island that we need. They run into Samurai, and they're like, we go to this one island and pick up our friend. And the Samurai have really fucking stupid abilities, which I'm not even going to explain. They go to this island. It isn't an island. It's a giant fucking walking elephant. And they climb giant walking elephant with one of the Samurai's stupid powers of, I can paint things. And then they climb it, and then they meet a tribe of animal people named Minks. It's fucking weird. And they find out that, oh no, Sanji got taken, because Sanji's part of a rich family. And they go, and Luffy's really upset. He's like, I'm gonna go rescue Sanji. I don't want him to leave. I want to help him. And Zoro really doesn't want to agree with that plan, so he doesn't go. So the people that left at Dressrosa go with Luffy to this current arc. Go to the current arc that the anime's at, where they go and beat up a fat bitch and her family, who are really weird and have very questionable names. I think they got named before or after their abilities. But then they find out that Sanji was supposed to be married off to Big Mom's family, so Sanji's family can get some special powers and shit. But Big Mom's like, nah, Sanji's gonna die during his wedding. Which doesn't work, because Sanji finds it out. Oh my god. And then war breaks out. Luffy beats up one of Big Mom's daughters. Wait, no, sons. Shit. But they beat him up, and it's like, oh no! Oh no! And then Luffy's now stuck in a mirror world fighting the strongest of Big Mom's family, and the rest of the crew, plus Jinbei and a bunny rabbit named Carrot, are now fighting Big Mom on their ship, and that's where the anime's at right now, and I probably missed a lot of shit, but I don't care. Finn,